This video is to introduce the push-up variations and common faults found with the push-up. So the push-up is a really good movement for developing strength through your pressing muscles, your chest, the front of your shoulder, and your tricep, as well as conditioning your core. So I'll start off with the hardest option. This is a push-up from your toes. So position we're looking for is a nice tight core. We're gonna keep our core nice and tight as we lower down to the ground, nose finishing in front of our hand. Full range of movement is chest to basically touching the floor before pressing back up. That's what we wanna aim for with all push-up variations. Chest down to the floor before pressing back up. Next, or the slightly easier variation to this is down on your toes and up on your knees. So we're up to 60% stronger in the lowering part of the movement. By lowering down in a more challenging position, it helps facilitate or helps allow us to get the most out of the exercise without compromising technique. The easier version from that, which is the easiest option, is doing it from your knees. So from here, again, we want our nose finishing in front of our hand. Keeping the core nice and tight, we're going to lower down from our knees and come back up. To make it a little bit easier, I can walk my knees closer to my hand. If you're somebody that this is more suited towards, it's a good idea to consider the other alternative to make the push-ups easier. The other way of modifying a push-up to make it easier is by elevating the hand. At its tallest position, this can be done against a high bench or a wall, and you can start working your way down to a desk, a chair, a couch, maybe a couple of books to make it a little bit easier each time. So if you're doing it with your hands elevated, we want to finish with our chest touching before pressing all the way up. Again, keeping the core nice and tight. And as you get stronger, just modify position to bring your hands lower and lower, closer to that normal push-up position. A couple of common faults, actually the two most common faults, is losing core position. So from a push-up, this can happen from your knees, it can happen while you're standing or with your hands elevated. Losing core position means that your hips are starting to sag because your core's not switching on, or as you find it difficult, you'll leave your hips behind to press up. If you're noticing that start to happen, go to the next easiest option down. Get your hands a little bit higher if they're elevated onto a box. If you're doing them on your toes, go down your toes, up on your knees. If you're doing that version, do them on your knees. Go to the next easiest version. We want to maintain movement quality to minimize the chance of injury and also to allow you guys to work the correct muscles in a really positive, good way that's actually going to benefit you. So movement quality comes first. The second thing is, and this will be more common for those with previous injuries, surgeries on one side of your body, or if you're really strong on one side compared to the other. So what you'll notice when you start to fatigue is that at some point your body will start to rotate. It might only be really subtle. If you notice this starting to happen, again, scale it down to the next easiest option. Do the movement or do the part of the movement that you can with maximal loading before you start to see that fault. And when you start seeing the fault, maybe it's on the way up, back off the load there. Maybe I'm just gonna lower all the way down on my toes and I'm gonna walk my knees forward and then just come up on my knees. That's a really good way of working to build strength through both sides and adjust for any imbalances that you have. Cool, focus on movement quality. Hope you guys enjoy. Good luck.